The year was 1974, a sweltering summer evening in rural Michigan. Terry trudged home from the blueberry fields, exhaustion weighing heavy on his shoulders. The small farmhouse, nestled along a desolate Merrill, Michigan road, seemed unusually eerie in the fading light. Despite the warmth of familiarity, a subtle unease lingered in the air. Inside, the family's evening rituals unfolded, each movement echoing in the quiet house. As they settled into bed, a sudden deafening crash shattered the stillness, jolting them from their slumber. Heartbeats raced as they sprinted towards the source. A sense of panic and alarm rang through the house. The kitchen lay in disarray, shards of glass littering the floor, sparkling in the moonlight. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, Terry and his father bolted outside, scanning the darkness for any trace of an intruder. But the moonlit landscape yielded no answers, only a sinister silence that whispered of unseen dangers lurking in the shadows. This story is the starting point of the hauntings of the Pomeraning House on Dice Road in Merrill, Michigan, what is considered by many to be the most haunted road in Michigan, a road that is not only the location of Michigan's most haunted house, but home of a total of 3 haunted locations. This is their story. Our first location on Dice Road, and probably the most famous, is considered by many to be the most haunted house in Michigan. The house was built in 1951 by Harold and Mabel Pomeraning, on property that was owned by the Pomeraning family for many years. They quickly had 2 sons, Dwayne and Terry, with all 4 making the small countryside house their home. Everything seemed completely normal for many years. That was until a quiet July night in 1974. The stillness of the summer night was ruptured by the piercing crash of the kitchen window on the Pomeraning's residence. Upon investigation, Harold and Terry dashed outside, only to find no trace of anyone in the moonlit expanse surrounding their home. Despite the ample visibility afforded by the countryside setting, there was no sign of an intruder in any direction. Alarmed and increasingly confused, the family promptly contacted the local police department, who immediately came out to the home. Despite thorough scrutiny of the vicinity, the officer found no trace of anyone approaching the premises that evening. Attempting to shake off the disturbance, the household retired for the night, hoping to put this behind them. However, their hopes were dashed the following evening when the eerie stillness was once again shattered. On this occasion, a resounding pounding echoed just outside the bedroom windows. Rushing to investigate, the family found there was no one outside. Determined to apprehend the source of the disturbance, Harold dashed outside, only to be met with the same eerie emptiness as the night prior. Once more, the authorities were summoned, yet their thorough search yielded no evidence of any intruders. Night after night, the relentless pounding persisted, targeting various windows throughout the house, yet always yielding an empty scene upon investigation. The disruptions grew so incessant that the local police, in an effort to catch the perpetrator, conducted a stakeout without informing the Pomeraning family. During this surveillance, the mysterious pounding resumed as expected, yet no intruders were spotted. It was on this particular night that outsiders, the police chief's family, became witnesses to the inexplicable phenomenon. As they made a stop at the house, the banging erupted once more, this time unsettlingly close to the bathroom window, while the police chief's wife was inside. The intensification of the disturbances prompted a new phase in the investigation. The Pomeraning boys, subject to thorough questioning and even polygraph tests to ascertain their innocence. The results confirmed their lack of involvement, deepening the mystery surrounding the nightly scares. With the escalation of the situation, state police officers were brought in to spend nights at the residence, hoping to apprehend any potential intruders. However, the pounding evolved into a deafening bang, so forceful it cracked the kitchen ceiling and displaced the refrigerator, all while law enforcement officers were present, adding a chilling dimension to the inexplicable occurrences. As the hauntings persisted without any known cause or resolution, they culminated in a devastating event when a small fire ignited in the bathroom, rendering the house uninhabitable. Faced with no other option, the Pomeraning family made the difficult decision to abandon their home. Subsequently, a new family rebuilt the home and moved in, experiencing only a peculiar incident where an old radio turned itself on, despite being unplugged. Through the passage of time, the origins of the banging and any potential restless spirits within the old house on Dice Road remain an unsolved case to this day. The second haunted location on Dice Road is just down the street in Iva, Michigan. What was once a thriving town turned now into a ghost town. The general store at the corner of Dice and Iva Road is all that remains of the long-abandoned town. It is said that this town was the center of a pandemic, devastated with disease that killed many residents in the late 19th century. Because of the highly contagious disease, many of the bodies and homes had to be burned to prevent further spread. The general store is all that remains of the once growing town, but many of its former residents have still not moved on. The old building, now purchased and renovated by a local couple, has become the focal point for paranormal activity, providing undeniable evidence of something inexplicable occurring within its walls. During the renovation process, the couple has felt ghostly presences brushing against them and witnessed power tools activating on their own accord. Despite these eerie encounters, they have transformed the space into their home. Occasional incidents, such as a washing machine spontaneously starting, further confirm the presence of otherworldly forces. Fortunately, none of these disturbances have been hostile, leading the couple to embrace their spectral roommates and carry on with their lives in harmony with the supernatural. Further east along Dice Road lies the Dice Road Cemetery, the third haunted site in the vicinity. The tale surrounding this eerie location reads like a page from the work of William Shakespeare. Legends tell of the sighting of a ghost of a young woman named Anna, who wanders the cemetery awaiting the return of her long-lost husband. Anna Rhodes was born in 1811 in Italy, where tragedy struck her family when their home succumbed to a devastating house fire, leaving her as the sole survivor. Sent to the United States to be raised by her aunt, Stella Rhodes, Anna found herself in a sparsely populated countryside of Michigan, near what is now known as Saginaw. Growing up in the area, she forged friendships with the local Native American tribes. As she grew older, Anna captured the heart of a young lumberman named Jonathan Millerton. Their bond deepened as they spent more time together, swiftly falling deeply in love. The joyous marriage of Anna and Jonathan took place when Anna was merely 17 years old. Yet their happiness was abruptly derailed 3 months into their marriage, when Jonathan was dispatched on a lumber ship traversing the Great Lakes, a journey that promised prolonged separation. Assured by the presence of her Aunt Stella, Anna braced herself for a prolonged absence of her beloved. However, fate dealt a cruel blow when tragedy struck, and Aunt Stella passed away not long after Jonathan's departure. Left alone in the isolated wilderness, Anna spiraled into a vortex of madness, only made worse by the devastating news of a shipwreck that claimed Jonathan's vessel. With the loss of all hope of happiness and a future, Anna tragically took her own life in 1830. Her lifeless body was discovered 2 days later, suspended from the rafters of a small shed tucked away in the depths of the Dice Road Cemetery. Adding another layer of tragedy, Jonathan miraculously survived the shipwreck and returned home less than a month after Anna's untimely demise. Consumed by grief, he continued to reside in the area, faithfully visiting Anna's resting place at the Dice Road Cemetery until his passing in 1879. It is believed that the spirit of Anna has never left the cemetery. There have been numerous witnesses to the young woman wandering the cemetery in search of her long-lost love. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed our story today, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next episode. And if you made it this far, please leave a comment if you've seen any of the paranormal spirits covered in today's episode.